You've heard it asked before, what's in a name? Well, a name has become one woman's unique burden.
Yeah, some people react, others jump to conclusions, all because of her name. In a story you'll only see on Action News, 13 ABC's Tony Geftis introduces us to ISIS.
Finding your way on campus at the University of Toledo is one thing. Finding yourself is another.
How's dancing practice? I'll be there tomorrow.
Good.
Most people would agree when you're 18 years old, you're just starting out. But most people don't have a name that sets them apart, a name that's become synonymous with terrorism.
Hi, this message is for Maya. My name is Isis, and I'm a student at the University of Toledo.
Meet Isis, Isis Walker. She's a junior at UT after taking college courses at an early age. Isis attended Toledo Early College High School. That's where I met her 3 years ago when I taught a class, and no one thought twice about her name. Now she's once again in a class I'm teaching at UT, and the world has changed.
When they hear Isis nowadays, they automatically assume terrorists. Like, no, how about goddess? Let's go in that direction.
Her parents said they named her Isis after the Egyptian goddess of fertility. Recently, Isis says her dad thought maybe she should consider a name change. He has since changed his mind.
But he straight up told me, he's like, yeah, you're going to definitely face some prejudice because of your name.
What would you think if a girl told you that her name was Isis?
Wow.
What would your reaction be if a girl told you that her name was Isis?
Oh my Lord.
Hi, Micah. My name is Isis, and I'm a student at the University of Toledo.
Isis works in a call center at UT. At her last job, she says someone hung up on her simply because of her name.
But one time, a person just hung up on me completely, didn't even order their product. They were just like, yeah, it was like, what's your name again? Oh, my name is Isis. Click.
It's got to be really, really hard.
Yeah. Dr. Sherry Wells Jensen is an associate professor of linguistics at Bowling Green State University. Right now, she says the name ISIS is in a different context because it's constantly in the news. Down the line, Dr. Wells Jensen expects the mass consciousness to change.
But she'll have to wait. She'll have to hang through this time when the context is such that when everyone hears that word, they're not going to think of a lovely young woman. They're going to think of bombs, and they're going to think that they're afraid.
Isis Walker is not alone. Here in the city of Adrian, the owner of this hair studio decided to call it Isis because of the Egyptian goddess. And she, too, has caught the occasional flack.
Okay, so are you just doing what you're retouching the color and get rid of the...
When she opened her own business 7 years ago, Lonnie Fox Raymond says the name Isis stood out because it was different.
Nobody even knew how to say it when I first opened.
Now, she says, some people take selfies with her sign as a joke. Others have gotten serious.
She comes walking in, and she's like, you know, you really should change your name. And I said, excuse me? And she goes, you really should change your name. And I said, well, why is that? And she says, you know, because of that terrorist thing that's happening.
But the vast majority understand her salon is not the ISIS you might be thinking.
I feel like the hair salon might be safer because if you're thinking about hair, you're thinking about beauty, so you're placed in the context.
Even out of context, not everyone has the same reaction.
What would you say if a girl told you her name was Isis?
I know some ISIS, so I don't connect it with that anything negative.
It will remain the name of Isis Walker, she says, no matter how long the other Isis stays in the news. Because after living with her name for 18 years, this college student has found something. Isis, in her words, is too cool of a name to change. At the University of Toledo, Tony Geftis, 13 ABC, Action News.
She's a sweet girl.
Yeah.
I hope nobody gives her grief about that. Well, according to several websites that track names, roughly 8,000 to 10,000 people in the U.S. are named ISIS. But as far as baby names go, that name is now on a severe decline.
And by the way, ISIS, the organization, stands for Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. The president says ISIL, which is the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, and includes the entire eastern shore of the Mediterranean.